What's up everyone? So we're actually going to be discussing the skills and the application of the new operators we have. So particularly we're going to be going over Rosmontis and Mudrock, which will be the next rate up 6 stars for the next limited banner, which is coming next month in CN. So Rosmontis is the limited operator and she's actually a Aoe Sniper but a completely new archetype on her own. You can see later that her attack range is very unique, same as Firewatch, and her trait actually allows her to deal physical splash damage twice, and the second time she deals this, it has significantly lower attack. Her talents help her reduce the amount of the target's defense, and the second talent buffs a random caster as well as Rosmontis. Keep in mind that she ignores a certain amount of the target's defense, so the target is likely the only one she's hitting, so the one she's dealing AoE to will still have full defense. Her skills are they're not that straightforward, so let's just go over them one by one. The first one deals a bonus amount of magic damage, and I assume this is automatically triggered. Skill 2 increases her attack interval, her attack splash range, and her attack. Additionally, she will also create additional extra aftershocks, and these are really useful because during the skill activation, the aftershocks will actually have a chance to stun the enemy, so this is pretty useful. Her third skill is she reduces the attack interval. She increases her attack and attacks 2 enemies simultaneously, but this only will be on blocked enemies, so she cannot hit enemies who aren't blocked. And immediately after the skill activation, she deploys 2 shields that can reduce the blocked enemies' defenses. So when your defenders are somewhat collapsing and you activate this skill, this allows your healers a lot of time to help your frontliners. And not only does she reduce the defense of the enemies that are blocked, she will also stun them for a certain amount of duration, and the stun doesn't apply to only blocked enemies, it applies to all nearby enemies, so this is pretty useful, especially if the frontliners are being overwhelmed.
还能见识，然后你开启不同技能还能产生非常多样的效果。对，更多的内容的话，希望大家可能在。
So the next operator we're going to be talking about is Mudrock. Mudrock is in the same archetype as Vulcan, meaning she will probably be the most expensive operator to deploy. So we're not sure how much her DP cost yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 30 DP. So for her trait, she can't be healed by other operators. And her talent periodically gives her a shield, and this shield can block 1 instance of damage. And what's really good about Mudrock is she gains these shields periodically, not just once like Nian, because if you deploy Nian you get 3 shields. For Mudrock you get these shields periodically, and every time she has a shield up, she actually heals her health. And her second talent reduces the amount of damage taken from Sarkaz enemies, and keep in mind that there are a lot of Sarkaz enemies, and this might be very useful for some future contingency contracts or maybe in chapter 8, we're not sure yet. So her skills are very nice. The first one basically increases her defense. Her second skill will recover a certain amount of health and attack all nearby enemies, so that's AoE. You can see here in the screen, you can see she hits everything with a swing of her hammer, and this actually has a chance to stun the enemy. And I don't know if this will have increased damage, but yeah, the stun percentage is more important for me. So for skill 3, after skill activation, she enters this state of invulnerable. So during this state, she cannot take action or cannot be attacked. She reduces nearby enemies' movement speeds during this invulnerable stage, but after this, she stuns all nearby enemies, and for the remainder of the skill duration, she increases her attack and defense. She has reduced attack interval and attacks all blocked enemies. So overall, I think she's a very good sustained tank. This is definitely the type of tank you could place away from your team without the need of healers. So depending on her stats, she's gonna have a pretty good niche.
任務？うん、分かってる。私がオペレーターのみんなを守るよ。絶対に。
今の私はロドスのオペレーターに過ぎない。あなたの指揮に従う。
来たよ。負傷者はこちらに。